Good morning. Hello. Hello, world. What a day to be alive, huh? Wow, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun to say the least. What is up, Sarah Knight? A buenos dias to everyone rolling in to Donfinity and beyond, Tetsujin. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's showing up. Story time with Gabe. Good morning. Can't wait. Everyone's excited about this trailer and it feels good. Bismo Man. Whoa! What the heck's going on here? Unintended. Unintended effect, but it's pretty cool, isn't it? Let me fix this. Holy smokes. We're off to an interesting start. This is what I don't know what the heck they're talking about. I thought we were talking about a different to Donfinity and beyond. It was pretty sweet, though. How are the levels? You want to keep it that way. KB Holmes liked it. Maybe we'll go back to that, depending. If things go south here, we may have to figure out something. I think it's going to be good, though. Good evening, Client Devil. Thank you, Client Devil. Congratulations. That was incredible. I was still thinking about that. 21.5. I didn't think it'd be impossible. We did the impossible yesterday. That was unreal. Dawn versus Wave Race. Wow. Levels are good. Thank you, Sarah Knight. Let me know if anything sounds amiss. We've got to get through a lot here. We actually only have an hour, so we should get started because today's a huge day. The trailer for our beloved Super Mario Brothers movie is only moments away, a couple of hours, and we're going to get our first glance at this thing. Holy smokes, I'm excited. Now, I've got a few items I'd like to discuss this morning, but this is an open discussion, okay? So just throw stuff out there. If anyone has stuff, you want to bring it up about what you're thinking about this movie, your thoughts, what you're anticipating, what you think we may see today in the trailer. We're going to go over a few things. Mario is coming, Changlini. Mario is coming. Good morning, S-Snake24. Happy trailer day to you. Feels good, doesn't it? Always feels good like a day. T-minus 1 hour, 57 minutes. I love the update from Sarah Knight. By the minute. Love that. T-minus 1 hour, 57 minutes. It's closer than I thought. We're 2 hours. So you were less than a Mario movie away from seeing the trailer. Imagine if the movie was out already, we'd watch it, and by the time credits rolled, the trailer would have come out. It's odd to think about it that way. Be Our Spies, Alexander McGrem. Maybe we can get about... Oh, you're wondering about the accent. Everyone's wondering about the accent. We're going to get there. I didn't see about the McDonald's leak. I know very little about this thing. I didn't see about the leak. Is that from this morning? So look. No, you didn't mess the trailer, Spectron. This is the trailer tailgate party before the trailer. We're getting pumped up, getting hyped. Everyone's excited for this thing, which I love, because I feel a few months ago there was a lot of cynicism about this. When they first announced Chris Pratt and all this, there was a little backlash. People weren't happy. I think the world is coming around. They're happy again. It's good. Excited to see this trailer. It's going to be good. This is what I'm wondering. Look, today is finally the day. How generations have passed, and people have been waiting for this thing. Children have been born, grandchildren. We're saying, where the heck is the Super Mario Brothers movie? What's going on with this thing? I mean, is this the longest? The first question I want to pose, is this the longest licensed property holdout in the history of mankind? I think it might be. What food would I pair nicely with a Mario trailer? That's a good question. A popcorn is good with any trailer. You got to put some special flavoring. The thing I'm most excited about Super Mario World opening in Los Angeles coming up soon next year, the thing I'm most excited for is to taste the peach flavored popcorn. Have you heard of this stuff? They're selling it at Super Mario World. I guess Japan. I believe it'll be here too. I can't wait to taste it. I don't know why, but peach flavored popcorn sounds like one of the most scrumptious things I can imagine eating. So is this the longest holdout? I was thinking The Simpsons. A lot of people, might not know what the heck The Simpsons is. That was a show. That's a show. It's still going, I think. It was gone forever, all through the 90s. I think it started late 80s. This was one of those that you said world famous, everyone knows this, an absolute cultural touchstone for every single country around the globe. And there's no Simpsons movie. It took decades, it seemed like, before the Simpsons movie came out. You wondered what was going on there. I'm sure there's an explanation. I think Mario is even longer, though, right? Because Simpsons came out, like, what, already 10 or 15 years ago? Who knows when that came out? Mario has been an absolute icon since the late 80s, early 90s, right? I mean, the whole world knows about these guys. We had that 80s Mario movie, but we never had a full-length AAA animated feature like this. The Simpsons movie almost came a little late, little too late, it felt like, Be Our Spies. This one doesn't feel too little too late. Mario feels as relevant and popular as ever before. I mean, he just doesn't seem like it's something that'll ever crest. Mario's going to be around forever. So the time feels right. We want it. We're excited about it. I don't know, though. I want to say, if someone else can bring something up, I'll listen. Sonic movie set the stage. It did, you know. Sonic opened the door a little bit. The Rampage movie, I always bring this up. Hosanto got me going. No. Kirks mentioned the Sonic movie. Now you got me going. Sonic paving the way for Mario. Rampage was supposed to pave the way for Primal Rage. What happened? Is Primal Rage the live-action film in development? What is going on with this movie? Does someone need me to write it? Someone at a studio reach out to me. I've got some ideas, okay? And I'm wondering what the delay is. I mean, Rampage made enough money, didn't it? People are going to see this thing. Primal Rage will be huge. Rampage was fun also. I thought it was fun. I've got some pitches, Screaming Argonaut. I just need someone to pipe off. I need to get up on a pedal somewhere and shout my Rampage pitches. Turok movie, Zelda movie. Okay, now people are coming up with some stuff. A Zelda movie. The good call, Screaming Argonaut. Good call. Altered Beast would be sick as hell, but not as much of a cultural touchstone. Not as well known, as even close to it. I mean, Mario is an absolute phenomenon, like Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get bigger. I think Miyamoto was sufficiently hands-on. This is the thing about Nintendo. I can't say they don't make mistakes, but they are very calculating. Nintendo is so calculating. And with things like this, you know, it's like, think about mobile gaming, right? You think about, you know, they haven't done it perfect. It hasn't turned out maybe what they wanted. Think about how long it took them to get into it, how careful, how cautious, how they dip their toes in this and that. This is my point. This thing isn't going to be a blunder. I predict it'll be huge. I predict it'll be very good. I think this is going to be a great movie, and I'll tell you why. Shortly, I'm going to start justifying some of these wild accusations. But this is going to be a really good movie, I think. And Nintendo's calculating. They think about things. They take their time. They wait sometimes, you know, beyond the point of when you think they should wait to do something, because they always are very concerned with doing it right. I really appreciate that attitude, and that's a hard thing to have this day and age. People want to strike while the iron's hot. Well, Mario just keeps getting hotter, so this is going to be huge. Of course, it's going to be the highest grossing movie of the year, probably, heretofore, but I think it'll be critically appreciated. I think this might be a feather, another feather. This may, you know, bring Illumination into a whole new level. Now, look, Illumination is huge. This is what I want to talk about now. Illumination. This is the studio producing this. One of the reasons why I feel this movie is going to be excellent is because the pairing of Illumination Studios with Nintendo and the Super Mario property is absolutely divine. It doesn't get better. Think about the world. We're going to go through some of these Illumination movies now so you can remember what these guys are up to, what these, you know, people are all up to here, creating beautiful art. I mean, some people are not fans of the Minions. The art style that Illumination has defined itself by, I think, is perfect for 3D Mario aesthetic. I just think it's meant to be. It doesn't think it could be. I can't imagine, you know, it seems better than Pixar, Disney, anyone else that sort of has a little bit of a style. Avatar 2, Snake, don't get me started. Everyone's excited for this movie now, right? The world's coming around on that also. That's for another day. But things are looking very good for James Cameron and Avatar. A practical laughingstock 3 or 4 months ago, we got on board with him. We all got on early. We said, we know what's going on here. Cameron's going to hit another home run. And boy, is he. People are starting to realize that now, I think. That's going to be a good movie, too. It will deliver. So, the trailer's coming in about 2 hours. Let's look at what Illumination has done. Screaming Argonaut. This is an exact question I want to get to in a little bit about Yoshi, or will he be a sequel tease? I have some ideas about this. I think it could go either way, but boy, is it an exciting thing to ponder. All right, now look. Whoa, let's not go there. All right, let's look at the Illumination pedigree. Minions. We all know Minions is huge, right? Sing 2. I haven't seen the Sing movies, but I think I saw part of one in a waiting room somewhere, and it was good. I liked what it was, you know. It seemed very good, and I know those are wildly successful as well. We know the story with the Minions. Look, I don't think anyone loves them or hates them. I think everyone's just like a little bit in the middle. Everyone either like likes the Minions, you know, I like the Minions, they're fine, they're cool. Or they just kind of like dislike the Minions, but there's no like vitriol for the Minions or no passionate love. It's an interesting thing, but they're successful. I mean, a lot of kids love the Minions, and why wouldn't they? The way they talk and everything is hilarious. All right, Puss in Boots. This is a movie I also didn't see The Last Wish, but I wanted to. I love the concept of this Puss in Boots. I never saw The Last Wish. I guess I saw the earlier one, and that was good. They've been riding this Minions train for a while. We all know that. The Secret Life of Pets. This was a good movie, and this is what I'm talking about. You see the similarity, just the art style that defines Illumination just feels perfect to me for Super Mario. It just works. The Secret Life of Pets. The Lorax. I love the Lorax. I had no expectations. I'm honestly not like a huge Dr. Seuss fan. The Lorax I wasn't excited for when it came out. I ended up seeing it years later, and I was like, this is a really good, pretty good movie, actually. Quite entertaining. And it had great animation, too. Great effects. The Mario poster is jam-packed. It is. That Mario poster, I think, got everyone on board. Anyone that was a little iffy, I think, saw this poster and started to get excited because we said, yes. I mean, look below me. This is the way, I don't know, we haven't pictured it exactly, but it looks good. This looks like a very good representation of the world that Mario could occupy and we'd love on screen, cinematic. And it just opens up all kinds of ideas. I mean, I haven't actually zoomed around this poster how I know a lot of people have, digging out things. I really haven't. But just glancing at it, I mean, a quick casual glance over, anyone in their right mind would have to be pretty excited about this. Look at the waterfall coming off that island. The island, what is it, you know? Yeah, so Lorax, cool. What's up, Laubro? Thanks for joining. You got any ideas about this Mario thing? Throw them out there, okay? We're chatting. We like the Lorax, right? People are complaining about the butt. We've heard this, okay? I think you'll be satisfied when you see it on the big screen, though, you know? They talk about that. All right. So let's look at a couple of other Illumination properties. I mean, the Lorax. Oh, the Grinch! I love the animated Grinch. I think that's a fabulous version of the Grinch. I really like it. And again, the art style is so charming. And it's just that similar look to all their movies, the way they define their look. Hop, I did not see, but it looked fine. Now we're coming to some smaller little spin-off type movies, I think. And yeah, we got to the original Despicable Me, oh, that's only Minion Mandus. Wow, they've made a lot of Minion movies, haven't they? A lot of these other little movies I haven't seen. I don't know if these are spin-offs or what. Have they done anything else huge? They did Cro-Magnon, Minions 3, Wagon Ho. Yeah, so anyway, we see what we're saying. The Grinch, Minions, Sing, the style of all these movies, I have 100% trust and faith. And I think it's a good combination. Hot take, way too many Minions, Sarah's thinking. Yeah, there's a lot of them. What is this? Hundo P. Low energy at parts while explaining 3DS. I think it makes... This is a reaction to something. Okay, I'm coming in the middle of a conversation here. Will the Mario movie include a classic Super Mario Brothers scene? This is one of the things I'm trying to think. That's what I was thinking about, KB Holmes. I think that's a neat idea. And by classic, what do you mean? Do you mean like, are they going to go 2D for a second? Because I think they have to in the movie. They absolutely have to go 2D. Before we get to some of these specifics, I think they'll have a 2D nod somewhere, and it's going to be a lot of fun. People are going to love it. They have to, right? Let's just chat quick before we start talking about the specific stuff. Let's talk about some just overall broader ideas. What are we gonna see today in this trailer? How long is it gonna be? I don't know. Has any of this stuff been put out there? Let me know if some of this stuff has already been made official. I'm assuming this isn't going to be a tease where we just see a shot and we just hear the voice. It's going to be more than that. I guarantee that. Loudbro coming in and saying, I bet there's no 2D. You don't think there will be a single 2D shot just as a little gag or something? I think that would be charming. People would like it, but who knows? It really could not be, it may not be there. It would break the fourth wall, I suppose, a little bit. So maybe they don't want to go there. Yeah, anyone that wants to make bets, let me know. It's a me, Mario. Yes, he's definitely going to have a line. Will there be more than a line, though? I think there very well could be. I think this will be a little bit of a substantial trailer. I don't know. It's so hard to say. I don't think it'll be a little 30-second or 20-second tease that's just going to show Mario, because they wouldn't. But it could be, but I don't think it will be, because they already showed this poster and just opened up the world to us already, and because everyone already, is so much discussion regarding this voice and this casting choice of Chris Pratt and everything. I think it's going to be more substantial. Hard to say how long, but I'm going to say it's going to be like maybe at least 40 seconds. And I think it could easily show like a little bit of dialogue, actually, not just a line, not just a "it's a me, Mario." Although it could, I'm putting my money a little bit on the over. I think there's going to be a little more. Carcosa, 40 seconds, my lord. Do you think that's insanely high or low? I'm not soloing this trailer party. There's going to be several allies later on reacting to this trailer live. This is just my chat. I'm just chatting here, okay? But we're getting pumped up for Mario because everyone's excited. We have to wait, what? Probably an hour and 40 minutes now, I think, till this thing comes out. There's a countdown clock someone's putting in. 1 hour 42 till trailer. Yeah, so it's coming quick. Anyway, I think we'll get several shots from the movie, from the world in action. I think we'll hear, probably multiple voices. Like, I think we could hear the princess, the Mario. I think we may hear from the whole cast. I don't think it's going to be too much of a teaser. I think it's going to give us just enough that to mellow people out a little, because once they just hear the voice, I don't think there's going to be a huge negative reaction to it. I think there'll be people are going to just kind of hear it and get over it, I think, really, because they're not going to do something, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be way off base. I don't know how he's going to go. People are debating New York, Italian. Is there going to be something new, a totally new voice? I think it might be a little bit of all of it. Who knows? I don't know what to expect in that realm, but I do predict that people will kind of get over that aspect of it quickly, and I think that's what this trailer will do. Donkey Kong will most certainly not flip. I do not think there will be any cameos. I highly doubt. They don't need to do any of this yet. Now look at this. Jake Twitchin is refreshing our memory on the casting. So Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor, Joy as Princess Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi. I forgot about that. This thing's gonna work, man. Jack Black as Bowser. It's gonna work. Oh yeah, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Wait a second. I forgot about that. Donkey Kong and Cranky have already been confirmed. I completely forgot about it. You see how I haven't been paying attention about this thing? I'm just psyched up for it. So, yeah, will we hear Seth Rogen? So, Seth Rogen, I think, so that's where the cameo... Okay, so this is what's going to happen. We're going to hear several lines of dialogue from Mario. I think we'll hear a couple lines. And then maybe at the very end, that's when they're going to pop Donkey Kong in, maybe for something like that. Yeah, flip or a laugh. He's going to pound his chest. He'll make an appearance. We probably won't see Yoshi. I predict we won't see Yoshi in this trailer. I think they're going to have this trailer And then become about Thanksgiving, we're going to get a nice big trailer, 2 minutes, 40 seconds, whatever, a full trailer that really shows us everything we need to see for everyone to just be like, I'm seeing this movie. So today was going to be a 30 or 40 seconds. That'll show us a little more than we expect, maybe. Enough to get us on board. And they're going to have a real big blowout for Thanksgiving week, I predict. We are moments away from the trailer releasing. I mean, an hour and a half, and the allies are going to be doing a trailer reaction live, so you'll have to be here for that. Okay, it'll be very exciting. Yoshi. Everyone's wondering about Yoshi. Everyone's curious about this. I pray that he will not be a setup for the sequel, because we all know this is very possible, I think that would be, it's like it'd be fine if they did that, probably, but I would much rather, have Yoshi in here. Go to Yoshi Island for a section of the movie or something. See a bunch of Yoshis. Let's have that as part of this right out of the gate. He doesn't have to be the main portion of the story, whatever. He can come in maybe halfway, whatever, but get him here and get him involved. And then the sequel can just be a blowout, bringing in a lot of others. Bring in the Brutals for the sequel. So I'm just kidding. Don't bring in the Brutals. But you can really go nuts in the sequel without leaving Yoshi to be the nutsness of the sequel, I think, because there's going to be a lot of curiosity about Yoshi, right, too. So please bring him in. And he's not going to be here, though. He won't be revealed today. If he is there, they're not going to show him today, I predict. Which is just fine. It's not a surprise. I got to change some of this music. It's starting to make me go insane. Hold on now. Okay, that's a little better. I was starting to go crazy listening to that stuff. Can you even hear it? Is it loud enough? Post-credits sequel bait hype here for us. Thinking with Yoshi, huh? It's possible, but it just feels like that wouldn't be a surprise. That feels so predictable. Even the formulaic, it feels a little too formulaic. Even though it could very well be. A Luigi's Mansion sequel. Oh man, a Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, like side, it wouldn't be quite a spin-off, but a side movie or something. Yeah, Isla Hink agrees. Isla Hink agrees. No Brutals. No Brutals. Could you imagine? Talk about getting people talking. If the post-credits scene was a Brutals tease, oh man, that would piss people off. They should almost do that just to get the, the discussion going, because the world would have a meltdown probably, right? Does anyone like the Brutals? Anyone? There will be a live reaction, Marmalade. You got to join us here. Everyone's going to be very excited for this. Charlie Day with Luigi's Mansion would be huge. We would love that, Snake. That's a great idea, a Luigi's Mansion movie. Birdo. AI generated Marlon Brando. That would be huge, Mark. If they did something like that, technologically, I think we have the tech at this point. Maybe that's what they were waiting for this whole time, Mark. They're waiting for the AI Brando tech to get up to snuff so they could have a proper Birdo cameo. That would be very cool. Post-credits teases for Odyssey 2. Oh man, they just have ads in there? That'd be cool. People would be excited about that. Brutals hate. It's not Brutals hate, it's just Brutals like, yeah, meh. Brutals are meh. I think that's a good call. So we're wondering about, another thing I was wondering about, swimming. One of the most magical things in a Mario game, right? Swimming absolutely transports you to another world. So satisfying in 2D and 3D. I love all the 2D swimming too. I'm hoping they show a variety of the whole thing. It's like it'd be amazing. I don't know if we'll see, are we going to see a quick montage? Like, are we going to see swimming? Are we going to see flying? Are we going to see Mario in several different outfits real quick? Just a little sampling? Just to set our minds at ease? I think it's very possible. I think this is going to be a little bit substantial. I made my stance known, Rebirth. I said it's not a big deal. Once you see it, on the big screen, depending how you see this thing on IMAX, it's actually going to look ample. The size is going to look ample. Live action Mario Brothers movie. I suppose they could. It's a nice idea. It's a very nice idea, but it's like, I don't mean to be cynical, but is it necessary in any way? I don't know, Swordfish 00830. I know a lot of people have been talking about this. It'd be, if anything, it would just be a nice thing as a tip of the hat, I guess. But even in that case, is it necessary? This is such a worlds and worlds removed from the 80s movie that I don't know if they'll do something like that. You know, it's a little different, I think, from when JJ picked up Star Trek and stuff like that. It's a little bit different than that, because the 80s one has found cult status over the years, but the original Mario Brothers movie, you know, its definition has changed over time, I think, culturally, how important it's been, and the attitude towards it. That would be wonderful if they're giving James Cameron some work with a submarine. That submarine is in dry dock right now. Can you imagine? They've wrapped shooting. No, unless they have it going for part 2, 3, 4, or 5. I don't know yet, but I think it's dry docked. There's a lot of color to this poster. It's a beautiful, colorful world. Everything looks very nice. The characters look nice too. I would love it if they go to Yoshi Island. The best video... Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, I wasn't even going to bring that up, 616. But you're bringing up, is the best video game movie still Mortal Kombat from 95? A lot of people would say it is, actually. I think Brad just said that. Brad was, I believe, the one that said it to me when I said, is this going to be the greatest video game movie ever made? I mean, it's not a tall order, kind of Brad was saying, you know, other than something like Mortal Kombat. And even Mortal Kombat, I know some people love that movie. I love the franchise of Mortal Kombat. Everyone knows this. Because I wasn't able to see that movie as a young kid, and I never really saw it till a little bit later, it never had the same meaning for me. It was over the top cheesy by the time, you know, I saw it, so out of place and everything. It was still, it's a fun watch, like what Brad said. It's a fun watch. I know to some people it's very powerful movie though. I think it's okay, but yeah, we haven't had, right, an amazing. So this, and Sonic 2 was good for sure, but this I think could be easily like very quality, a greatly loved Detective Pikachu. Good call, Client Devil. That was a good movie, wasn't it? Detective Pikachu was not bad. A lot of people didn't like that. I loved it. Animated Street Fighter movie. Oh yeah, that is so good. Rebirth. It's hard to think of it as like a mainstream. Was it a AAA budget for back then? It might have been, because I think the quality for back then was pretty good, but it didn't have, did it have like a wide theatrical release, that movie? I have no idea if the animated Street Fighter 2 movie, did it have a theatrical release? I don't know. It is good though. So in terms of just quality, yeah, I mean, it'll be there are some good ones, but in terms of the combination of success being box office being included as a measuring stick, and critical acclaim, including both of those factors, I think this thing might seal it up for a while. You know, I mean, Resident Evil has been trying for decades to put something out and just can't do it. No matter how much money or effects they have, it's tough. Uncharted was fine. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, are fond of Tomb Raider. I'm very mild on it. I'm talking about the new one. All of them, honestly, all the Tomb Raiders, none of them have ever delivered the way we wanted them to. That's a hard thing to make a movie of. Uncharted 2. When you come in with a genre like Tomb Raider or Uncharted, it's tough because you've got these legendary cinematic, you know, pillars, Indiana Jones, etc., that you're automatically associating because they're genre-wise so close to that. So it's tough. Games like that have a tough time stepping into the movie world, I think, because they automatically are compared naturally in your mind, whether you want to or not. You compare them to these similar things you've seen before that are masterpieces, and so it's hard to do something like that. But when you see something like a Mario, you know, coming out, it's like this is its own thing, and there's nothing in the movie world other than these other animated features that you could somewhat compare it to. What is up, Fromlock? Fromlock, everyone, welcome Fromlock, joining the party. Everyone's excited today, biding our time, shaking with anticipation. How good is this going to be? It's going to be awesome. I think we're going to be pretty pumped up today. I think there's some discussion on how much people like the Pokemon movie. I'll tell you what, the 3D looked quite good in that. My main 3D television is down, everyone. Side note, my main 3D television is down, okay? I never saw this thing coming. The TV is down. I got a repair guy scheduled to come to my place tomorrow. And boy, I'm hoping for the best, but this could be ugly. Who knows what the heck is wrong with this thing? I've got some ideas based on my troubleshooting, but right now I'm not able to watch not only 3D, I'm not able to watch TV, period. The thing doesn't work. So I've been watching things on a tablet and a phone the last 48, 72 hours. It's not been pretty. It's not been pretty when your TV goes down, okay? Let's hope for the best. Everyone send your healing golden light to my television, my 3D television that'll be resuscitated, because my other one I have out at the compound in storage, so it's not like I have access to one of my backup 3D TVs. They're all sealed up. I didn't think I'd need to unseal one of those things till like 2040, or I wasn't predicting this thing. This isn't an old model. I mean, this is a high-end piece of equipment. It should not be going down in this early in its lifespan, but what can I say? I've not, it's a good thing. It's a good TV. I just want to thank you, Laser Ramon. Prayers up for the 3D TV. I use my PSVR as a 3D movie player. Banana Forklift Killer. A lot of people have been telling me to do this. It's an LG Uzi Suicide. It's a very nice LG. It's a very nice LG. And this is not the one I was gifted. Client Devil. Wow. Client Devil's been around for a while. Remembering years back, I was gifted a 3D TV. That was an old school 3D TV. That was a big boy. That thing was not a flat screen. That thing that was gifted to me that got me into 3D, that thing's long gone at this point. That thing I wasn't able to put in storage, but that was a lot of fun for a few years. But that was an outdated technology. This thing is very nice. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I got the extended warranty on this thing from Locke. Sending healing golden light to my TV. Thank you, here for. All right, let's turn it back now. Let's get back to Mario, I think. Is there any video game movies you'd like to be made? I love to see a Mirror's Edge with real parkour for action scenes. That's a neat idea, Michael Seward. The tough thing about a Mirror's Edge, I think, is you could naturally think of the world being represented in a really cool way. You could naturally think of all kinds of stunning parkour and effects. But you'd have to say the casting on that would have to really bring people in. It would be very important who plays, because you'd need someone to really draw your attention to that, right? Okay? I think that would have to be a big thing. I said it earlier, the movie I most desire, it would be Primal Rage. A live-action Primal Rage, I think, would be freaking awesome. And that's what I want. If I could have any game. I watched Avatar 3D. Oh, yeah, on that? Yes, Hesperus. I thought you were asking if I saw it in the theater. I did see it in the theater as well. 4DX, my first 4DX experience. I'll say this about 4DX. The person that's programming the trailers, the seat motion for the trailers, it's a thoughtless process. I don't know if they got an AI do this or what's going on. That being said, after the two trailers, after seeing Wakanda Forever and Black Adam and 4DX, I was looking for the knob to shut the seat movement off, because I said, this is absolutely ridiculous. It's just thrashing me around out here. However, thank goodness they didn't have a button on this seat. They only could turn off the water effects, I found out. You can turn off the seat movement, and I was told you could. You couldn't at this theater. Once we got to the movie itself, Avatar, oh my gosh, the person that programs that seat movement is an artist, an artiste. It added to it slow, thoughtful, shifting movement. Very once in a while, you'd get something rough that was in motion with what you were seeing. It was a true experience. And in conjunction with the 3D, there's something about it. Because the effect of the 3D is taking you a little bit out of body, just having this added movement to your body then is just bringing that sensation even greater, where you could just let yourself go in the theater a little bit more. and you just felt like you're in suspended animation there experiencing this movie. It was really lovely. So shout out to the people that programmed the seat movement on these 4DX actual movie theaters. I mean, this is an art that goes into it. A lot of thought goes into something like that. All right, and I didn't get any snacks. I told everyone I was gonna have popcorn, pizza, all this nonsense I was excited about. I didn't get any snacks. I had to get breakfast right before I went to the theater, so all I did was finish up a coffee, and I sat there and just watched the movie in 4DX. It was very nice. I didn't spill anything, but oh well, that's the thing. I was finishing up my coffee, and those friggin' trailers started going, which it was literally just thrashing me around for 2 minutes. I could hardly even see what the heck was going on screen. And yeah, the coffee almost spilled. I mean, there's no doubt if I would have had a full coffee, it would have been splashed all over me. You're absolutely right. So thanks for I was snackless. I heeded your warning. A lot of people told me in chat, watch out with this thing, because I was planning on getting multiple nacho cheeses, pizza, my ices, the whole 9 yards. People in chat were saying, pump the brakes, Don. You're going to be an absolute mess. It's going to look like you're coming out of a Guar show after this thing. So I heeded your warning, got breakfast before, and just drank finished up the coffee. And thank God it only had about that much coffee left in the cup, because that thing would have been thrown all over me. Piping hot coffee. Nice way to start a movie. Client Devil Saw Smile last night. No 4DX screening on that. Would be hell. That would be freaky. Yeah, I imagine so. 4DX and a horror would be interesting. Guar and 4DX would be interesting, wouldn't it? Bladder of Steel. We're not just talking coffee during Movie Stable. We're talking coffee during Avatar re-release. This is a 2-hour and 42-minute experience. But I hit the can right before I went into the theater, so I was good. And I also do have a bladder of steel. I got to drive up to 405 every day. Sometimes you can be on that thing for 2 or 3 hours. You better have a bladder of steel. It takes years of training, but I have one now. So I'm very comfortable going hours and hours and hours without a restroom. Story time with Gabe is working out right now. Can you imagine? What are you on, legs today? Legs, arms? What are you doing? Don't get the big gulp at 7-Eleven. Why would you say something like that, Swordfish 00830? Is this in response to something? I don't know why you'd swayed people away from the big gulp. Nothing ever wrong with that I know of. Oh, just for your bladder? To protect your bladder? I suppose so. They still have this 72-ounce thing. They called it a mega tank or something. Super tank. They used to sell at 7-Eleven as 72 ounces of soda. I don't know if it's legal anymore, actually. After some of the soda laws started dropping a few years ago, I don't think they can sell that many ounces of soda in one receptacle. You got to come back for refills. Triceps day. I used to like, back when I worked out, story time it gave. Can you believe there was a time I exercised? I did. And I loved triceps. Those are my favorite, because when you push yourself, it feels like your elbow, it feels like the ligaments in your elbow are just going to snap right in half. And I always liked that sensation. My preferred popcorn flavor. Look, guilty pleasure, Screaming Argonaut. I go a little bit nuts with the butter and salt. I salt the heck out of it. I butter the heck out of it in layers. You know how to do it. You get to ask for the to-go box. You empty this thing out. Layer in the butter, and when I'm talking about salting, I'm talking about make it snow, on this thing. And you're sitting in the theater eating this stuff, and it's the best thing you've ever eaten in your life. My goodness, it is bad for you, but boy, oh boy, is it yummy. I love heavily buttered popcorn. I like kettle corn too, but usually not in the theater. I'll eat kettle corn at home when I'm watching a movie more often. Yeah, we get full access to our own butter and salt and U.S. popcorn. Client Devil, are you saying you don't have a little side stand with the butter, the butter squirting vat and just every flavor of salt under the sun? We are spoiled here, aren't we? Popcorn and peanut M&M? Yeah, sure, I love peanut M&Ms. I love everything. It's hard to find a concession snack I don't like. Hold on now. Rockets in Flight has a Madden 09 themed Slurpee Big gulp mug that had an in-game holographic Eli Manning on the outside of it. Hold on now. Have you checked the value on this thing, Rockets in Flight? Because some of these things have appreciated. I do not know if you're aware of that. I want to look this thing up right now. I'm going to look this thing up. Let's do it together, shall we? Because I want to see if Rockets in Flight. You may be a millionaire and not even aware of it. If I discover this, though, you got to share a little bit with me, right? Now, hold on here. eBay. What we have to do, though, is look at this on eBay in order to acquire a value. Hold on now. This might be it right here. Is this the one we're talking about? 2009. Now, the question is, does this have Eli Manning? It's worth $7.96. Okay. According to this, it's selling for $7.96. Is this the one you have? Let's see. Wait, I don't think that's Eli Manning. That's some stinking cowboy. That's not Eli Manning. Should we put up Eli Manning? We gotta add Eli Manning. Big gulp mug. Eli Manning. Hold on now. Here we go. Player Eli Manning. Okay, we're gonna get to the bottom of this right now. How much money? This is a little bit of a tangent, I suppose, for the we were supposed to be talking Mario. I don't know how the heck we got over here. Hold on now. Why isn't this thing loading up? A lot of people are looking for $20. The Eli Manning one has rocketed to $20. Now, let's see. There it is. Is this the one? It certainly looks like it. So you had to pay. You only paid, I imagine. This is an interesting cup, though. Look at the lid. This thing was probably not cheap. I imagine you might have paid up to $4.95 for this thing. But even so, it's gone up over 300% in value. Am I wrong? A 300% increase? That's the definition of an investment. Okay, Rockets in Flight. So now you know. Hold on now. I missed a bunch of talk. Yeah, story time. I was once a bodybuilder. Movie popcorn is some of the best around. I'm going to catch up on everyone's. I got off. Red vines are good. Swordfish 00830. Everybody out there, give a chance to these sweet tart ropes. If you're a fan of red vines, if you're a fan of Twizzlers, if you're a fan of grape vines, give sweet tart ropes a try. They're yummy. The cherry. I just found out they have a sour apple. I've never tried it, but the cherry is divine. Michael Seward. I went to see Avatar again and thought of you, Don. It was just standard 2D and sadly didn't think it held up without the 3D. Yeah, I hear that. Lethargic and bloated. I'm surprised you thought that, though. I gotta be honest. I hadn't seen it in a few years, and Avatar was better than it had ever been before. I was worried, too. I said, I hope I don't fall asleep in this thing. I remember parts of this movie being boring. This was the most engaged I've ever been. I don't know if it was the 4DX or what, but story-wise, I was like, this isn't as bad as I thought. I remembered it being a little more cliche. Maybe I'm getting more forgiving. But who knows? It really was a great film. I was like, there weren't the same kind of, I remembered a few down parts. Yeah, like what, but, you know, Michael Seward is saying they felt that. So maybe there's something to be said for the 3DX, 4DX situation. In EU, we only have salty or sweet popcorn. No control. The Rat King is telling me so you can't go. See, in the United States, at least you go to an AMC theater, you've got every flavor of popcorn, salt under the sun. You've got an unlimited supply of hot, liquefied butter oil, you know, the stuff that tastes really good. It's really something, and that comes free, no charge. No charge for that. Checking out the prices on my 3D cups. Well, look at this. I mean, I'm not the only... You see, there's a big market for this stuff, so... All right, I'm catching up. I'm catching up. What? I can't imagine someone buttering their popcorn in the lobby. There's a horde of people buttering their popcorn in the lobby. You should see it's a whole crowd of people gathered around, just lapping it up. Oh, and the Mario popcorn tubs will be giant piranha plants. That's a neat idea, unexpected enemy. I didn't even think of that. The embossed popcorn tubs. It could be as simple as being a warp pipe. Just a green pipe. Eat some popcorn out of a green pipe? That sounds nice. $11 shipping on that thing. Well, Uzi, look, this is the price you got to pay. I mean, look, this thing has to be packed delicately. It's got curved lenticular, molded plastic. You got to be careful with this stuff. So I assume they're going to bubble wrap it or something. It ain't cheap to get this thing around the world in a good state. How active is the market for Madden products? Changlini, I'm still friggin' shocked at this thing. Did you see the MPD report? Madden is there again. Again. I like football. I'm as insane as the next person, but who on earth is spending money on this game? I mean, I loaded it up on, it was on something free. They gave you like you got to play a portion of the game free. I loaded up and I couldn't find the spirit to actually play it. I haven't played this thing. I said, I don't want to get pressed. It's the same experience every year for decades and decades. Just give the license to someone else. EA, for crying out loud. People want to play a decent football game. Sweet Tart ropes are fantastic. MXA loves them. Look, we got to get to some Mario soon here. I had several more points on my list I wanted to discuss, but I'm trying to catch up on these comments. I got behind. Avatar is cliche. Oh my gosh, Sarah Knight. I had to dig through that one. It's cliche. You're right. But the cliches weren't like beating me over the browbeating me as much as I felt they had in the past when I had seen Avatar. I don't know. It didn't seem as offending in that matter now, but maybe, I don't know. Like I said, the 40X might have had me a little bit out there. A Terrifier fan. I haven't seen Terrifier 2, I don't think. 616. I gotta track this down. Have to choose between self-service popcorn or healthcare. That's a very good point, Snake. That's actually, it's a funny joke, but it's funny because it's so true, right? Best jokes are true. Healthcare is a nightmare. I got as much salt and butter as I want. Being able to get healthcare, that's no joke. It's actually close to impossible, but you're forced to legally, so it's a very odd situation to be in. Let's move on. I'm getting upset now. Some sort of fancy new projector, but it looked great. That's a middle of conversation I missed. All right, let's get through this. The pipe bucket would be big. What is up, Lotius? For Mario, I'm going to guess a plastic drinks cup is going to be a pipe with a straw. Mario jumping out in the popcorn box to be Peach's castle. Oh, if they went with a square popcorn tub, embossed steel, Peach's castle from all sides. There's an idea, Michael Seward. I would pay close to $20 for that thing, right? Loaded with popcorn, of course. Latias comes in at the end. Well, at least you joined us. Hope you're all well. Sometimes eat like they have free healthcare. You know what? You just kind of give up, though. You client devil. You just say, you know what? I can't get into a hospital. What the heck is anything that matter anymore? And you just start eating popcorn then. It's very depressing. 616 does not care about the Mario movie. You're here to party with me, which I appreciate. Thanks for joining the party. You don't care about this movie. You're not excited at all. Does Mario mean anything to you? I mean, as an honest question, if he doesn't, that's perfectly fine. I'm just curious. It's hard to find someone that has no interest in the Mario movie. So I'd be curious, 616, why that is. And I think it's 100% fine. I'm glad you're here to party with us. You're making this party a little more lively. I'd be absolutely huge. You guys are the best food options. A Mario popcorn bucket that doubles as a stylish hat. Does Mario deserve some fog hype? I was thinking, I wanted to. He most definitely deserves some fog hype, but you know what? We got allies are going to be pouring into the studio here, moments away from people arriving to react to this movie trailer drop, and I said, I'm going to get some side eyes if it smells like burnt metal in here when they walk in, you know what I'm saying? So I left the thing unplugged. It'll be for another day. We'll get that fog machine going. Don't worry, you haven't seen the last of it. Caramel pecan. One of my favorite things from Locke around the holidays The popcorn bucket with the split. You get butter salt, caramel covered, and cheddar cheese. You ever dig into one of these? Always around the holidays. I don't know what it is. You get one of these big things. It has the metal seal. You just scarf a bunch of it, seal it up, scarf it. Over the whole holiday season, you can enjoy a couple of these things. It's like a barrel of tri-flavored corn. Okay, now hold on now. 616. Mario's totally cool. I'll see the movie if my girlfriend wants to go. I'm just not like super stoked for it is all. Sonic was surprisingly really fun, so maybe this will be too. Hey, that's an awesome attitude to have. I mean, you're probably in the main, the majority there actually with how you feel. So that's interesting. Yeah, so you're going to get around to it though. I bet you'll end up getting around to it though. I'll be curious to see if you end up liking it. Let me know, 616. Let me know, 616, what you think about this trailer. I'd be curious to see now if 616, you're more excited about the trailer. It would have to be really good to get you more excited, right? Could the trailer do anything, 616? For someone like yourself, could the trailer do anything that would get you to be like, I'm going to see this movie with or without my girlfriend. I'm going to see this thing. This thing I got to see. Would it be possible? I don't imagine it would. I honestly couldn't imagine there'd be anything in the trailer other than them doing something which Nintendo wouldn't do, but them doing something like, yeah, trailer for Odyssey 2 post-credits, which I don't think they would do. But if they did something like that, obviously they'd be getting butts in seats of people that would not see this movie otherwise, or under special circumstances. So let me know, 616. Maybe you'll get to stick around with the allies later today and react to the movie, and maybe we'll be able to see what your opinion is, if it's changed. If not, join me on Wave Race 64 next Wednesday and let me know what you think, if you're able to, if you have time. If you're not busy, I'd be curious about your opinion. When you get the extra large popcorn bucket, do you eat it all to get your free refill before you leave? Story time with Gabe. It's a great question. Many people do this. I know. I worked at a theater once before, so I know all the common habits of people and how they like to fill up their popcorn on the way out, something to eat at home. I never liked bringing popcorn home. I like to keep it at the theater. If I'm going to eat popcorn at home, I like it to be a separate event and this and that. Nothing against bring it, because popcorn holds pretty good, actually. Usually it'll hold pretty good. And so nothing wrong with taking home a free bucket. I'll tell you this. If it's a collector's bucket I really care about, that I'm going to cherish, I don't have them put the popcorn in it. I say, don't put the popcorn in it. I just buy the bucket and I say just put the popcorn into the to-go tray or whatever, little cardboard tray. If it's just like whatever, I'm having some fun, a movie like Solo. I go see a movie like Solo. I say put the popcorn, it's a cool bucket, but put the popcorn. And maybe that's foolish thinking, because honestly, a collectible Solo bucket would probably be worth a lot more than like a Jurassic World Dominion. A lot less numbers are sold. The Dominion popcorn bucket, they started selling this thing about 2 or 3 months before the movie came out. That's unorthodox, and it sold very well. And I have one. Too big, though. I've said it before. The Dominion popcorn bucket is the size of a medium-sized trash can. And I'm not being hyperbolic. The thing is about this tall and this wide, okay? It would make a good trash can. It is too big for a popcorn bucket. That does exist. I hardly have room in my apartment for this thing, to be honest. I stacked it on top of something way up there. If there's an earthquake, I'm probably going to get bonked to hell with this thing when it rains down on me. So too big on the Dominion popcorn bucket. I think it will be like the Sonic movie. I'll put it on a wish list, cooking or something. Netflix. Okay. I don't know. People are responding to something, but I'm way behind. The unexpected opening shot of this trailer. Any ideas? What will be the very first shot we see? That's a neat idea to ponder. It's tough. Will it just be a landscape shot? Will it just be a shot of landscape? Will it be a... Yeah, it's tough to say. Will it be a swimming? Will we start underwater like I want? I would love it if we started underwater. I was very happy, Michael Seward, about getting into the Hall of finally nominating a game which was accepted by my peers into the Hall of Greats. I was very excited. I will say this. My excitement was a tiny bit tempered because I felt bad about the three-way tie voting process that had to take place in order. It's like it felt like such a slog to get it in. Even though it got in, I had to then had to vote out these two other games that tied with it, and all this stuff that doesn't happen in every Hall of Greats. I wish it would have just been a clean nomination. First of all, very grateful it got in. I do think it's a great game, so I am happy for that. But I also felt a little bit bad because that whole process, that like second tier process of defining if this thing could get in, that pulled away some of the attention from the other fellow winner, Mega Man X, which Brad Ellis brought. The absolute king, Brad Ellis, brought another brilliant game. And it was so funny because by the time Sonic Mania won, I was thrilled. I was over the moon, but I had almost forgotten, like, oh wait, Mega Man X is sharing this moment with you. And I felt like it got a little bit put aside for that, and I felt guilty for that. I said, I wish Mega Man X and Sonic Mania could have come out hand in hand a little. I mean, they came out, what a show, right? Those two games. Spoilers, but look, we're weeks after, okay? You should have seen it by now. But I was happy, Michael Seward, and I'm grateful to all the allies for voting, chat for having a part of that second tier process, voting out the other. I feel bad for the other nominees. I wish we all could have kind of just gotten in there, but that was the process that was determined. Will we see a Dry Bones? I hope so. I hope we see a whole bunch of characters, and I think we will. I think this trailer is going to give us a really nice sampling of the world. I think we're going to see more than we expect, even if it's quick stuff. What else are we here? Rocket, it's comforting to see my mug on screen for this long, like a childhood blanket. Where is this thing? I mean, are you considering selling? Do you have a collection of lenticular mugs, or was this a kind of one-off thing you held on to? Because, if you want to move this thing and you don't care too much about it, I don't know if I'll pay $20 for it, but I'm curious. I am curious. Rockets in flight. Okay. Let's see. Trailer could totally win me over. 616 is saying the only thing that I'm kind of iffy on, honestly, is Chris Pratt. No disrespect. He's just everywhere. Oh, yeah. And I get that. I have that same reaction sometimes when someone has become so mainstream. I get kind of like I kind of react. I want to back off a little bit. I think he's going to do okay, though. I think people are going to hear this and they're going to be able to move past it. They're going to be like, all right, it's just going to kind of like make sense, I think, when we hear the voice he's doing. I don't think they're going to whiff on this one. Nice. 616. Well, let me know then. Let me know when you're watching Wave Race. If you watch it live next Wednesday, let me know if this trailer did anything earth-shaking to change your opinion. The most elaborate meal someone has snuck in on my watch. Roused Hour, you're talking about back when I worked at a movie theater. Holy smokes, people would bring everything in there. I mean, everything under the sun I'd find. I'd come in there sometimes. I was a real team effort guy, so I'd lead the charge with the ushers when we'd have sold out shows and you knew that you're going to be going through that theater, 1,000 seats, aisle by aisle, knee deep in concession waste and outside food waste. I mean, these summer blockbusters, people trashed the friggin' place back when I worked in a theater. I think it's a little better now. People kind of take out some of their own trash. Back when I worked in the theater, you brought hokies, you brought blowers, you brought heavy-duty equipment in there. There were extension cords being running, and I brought the team in there, and we attacked it. A military operation, like friggin' Navy SEALs going in there. And I had a hokie in hand, and I wasn't afraid to get dirty, and I found it all. I saw it all. Chicken bones, enchiladas, droppings. Some people would go through bushels and bushels of sunflower seeds, and they'd leave a formation that it would look like you're flying over the Appalachian Mountains. Just a topography of sunflower seeds on the floor that we'd have to blow through. I saw it all. You wouldn't believe. You put people in a room dark together with food, and they just sort of dig around like little animals. But I love that. That's one of my favorite things about the movies. Did I ever tell you that? I love being in a jam-packed theater full of people crunching left and right of me. There's a couple of people that might have completely different ideals than I have, right? We may be fighting out on the street, but here we are sitting next to each other, laughing at the same jokes, looking at the same screen, eating food and nourishing our bodies next to each other. I love that kind of movie. I really do, you know. There are some movies you want to, obviously, you know, people don't like that. You want to go pay attention, you know, you really need silence, but there's something fun about a blockbuster experience in a big movie, big crowded theater, and everyone's noshing away like crazy. When it comes to voices, I think the voices will be okay. I don't know. I know it's a little tough because Mario hasn't done a whole lot of voice work, though. I think it gives us a little more of an open door than we think. PandaCon, thank you for being here with the party. I guess we're about out of time, but we can go a little bit over, I think. Let me make sure no one's pinging me about something, telling me to cut the stream. And I guess we can go a little bit over because we are hyping up this movie. Let me see. I think the world is still okay. Whoa. Okay. There are some interesting messages coming my way, but no one telling me to cut the stream. Little coffee. All right, let's keep catching up on these. Will we see Mario jump on an enemy's head? Or is that too violent? I don't think it's too violent. I certainly hope. I would love to see a Dry Bones get jumped on. Someone brought up Dry Bones. I would love to see a Dry Bones, see him get jumped on, and see the little clickety-clack collapse and hear that sound effect that they do. I think that would, things like that. I think if they do a bunch of little crap like that in this trailer, it's going to get everyone on board. Oh, the Kool-Aid debacle 616. One of my greatest humiliations in the history of mankind. Completely humiliating, that Kool-Aid. That probably botched the whole Wave Race nomination. I got to give Wave Race a shake again in the Hall of Greats. I got to get it in there somehow. I was so disappointed. The magic of that moment was absolutely ruined, 616, when I couldn't come up. I studied this too in advance. I guess my greatest mistake is that I just didn't run the experiment. I wanted to do it live because I wanted to be as happy and surprised as everyone else when we saw that beautiful Caribbean blue. It didn't happen. It was a murky green, I think. What a failure that was. Oh well. POV of Mario falling through a warp pipe, open on crane out of Mushroom Kingdom. Rouse Dower talking about opening shots. There it is. That would be nice. I would love that. We're seeing, you know, kind of swirling colors. We don't know what the hell it looks like. I mean, Universal Studios has given us a little idea about what it looks like to go through a warp pipe, but we really don't know too much. They could make it look like anything. They're going to pull out the big stops. This is going to be transfixing to go through the pipe. We're seeing abstract colors and suddenly, boom, a burst of light, you know, from the sun. Our eyes come into focus and we're over the Mushroom Kingdom. Effing A, that would be sick. Rouse Dower. I hope that's the opening shot. That sounds freaking awesome. Sonic Mania is an excellent game. I think some people I didn't know. I thought it was worldwide beloved. There are people that actually don't like it. It's amazing. I mean, that like the first 2, 3. I love the first 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 Sonics more than anything on Earth. And Mania is excellent. But everyone has an opinion, so that's fine. We have Cranky and Donkey. Yeah, the Cranky and Donkey I'm curious about. I gotta say, I don't know why either. That's the only thing that makes me a little nervous about this entire Mario movie prospect. I love Donkey Kong. I love Cranky Kong, but I'm curious why they had to. I mean, I guess just because they're going to open up this whole cinematic universe door. But that part of it makes me a little nervous. I think it's going to be fine, and I think they'll do it well. But that almost feels like I would have preferred it to have been the tease. Bring Yoshi in early, get to Yoshi's Island early, show a friggin' million Yoshis of every color, blue and purple especially, and then tease Donkey Kong at the end. That's not the route they went. Who knows what they're doing with Yoshi? He may be there. He may be prominently featured. I hope he is, but Donkey Kong is there also, and that's the only part that makes me a tiny bit nervous. So hopefully, for me, when I'm done watching this, I'll be like, you know what, I'm on board with this Donkey Kong thing. They made a good call. He said he's not using his normal voice. Yeah, I mean, it's not just going to be Chris Pratt talking, that's for sure. But I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be something completely loopy and insane. I mean, he's going to have dialogue in this thing. A whole rotisserie chicken. Oh yeah, people brought in chickens. People brought in whole chickens. Swordfish. People brought in fondue. I once found a discarded fondue set. Can you believe? Can you imagine? Someone coming in eating chocolate and cheese. It was two. A little portable. It was a portable fondue set, but still, I say you just leave this thing behind. I mean, it's not disposable. I saw it all. I told you I saw it all. 6-foot hoagies. Thank you, B Cent, for being here. B Cent 89 joining the party. Loudbro used to clean up clubs after a Saturday night. That sounds fun. You probably found even more wild stuff than I did. It didn't make me hate people, Lotius. I could see that, you know. Sometimes you get annoyed. You say, why can't these people clean up after themselves? Why the heck are they acting like rodents in a dark space? But you know what? When you change your attitude and you made it like a fun thing, like a military operation, and you get your whole team involved, you know, 5 or 6 ushers, you pull a couple of people out of concession and you say, we got a war zone, let's do this. And you go in there and you attack. Then it's a fun thing. It's okay. You don't mind the people throwing their stuff everywhere then. You say, we got to get this theater clean in 10 minutes. We got another crowd of people coming in here. MinMax just recently did a thing where they had a guy buy all sorts of fast food meals and dump it all in a bag and bring the bag to a movie theater just to eat it. Jiminy Christmas. That's an odd thing. Mildly busy with loud people talking on their phones is the worst. People don't like that. It sounds like Huber's Nightmare. It is Huber's Nightmare. It absolutely is Huber's Nightmare. When I worked in a movie theater, someone bought a steak dinner with all the trimming, side salad included. Yeah, I should clarify. When I'm talking about being in a crowded theater with everyone munching away, I'm not talking about people bringing in tuna fish sandwiches and, Arby's 5 for 5s or whatever. I'm talking about people enjoying sanctioned concession snacks. Popcorn, red vines, nachos, pizza, pretzels, ice creams, Slurpees. These are the things I like to hear being devoured all around me. When I'm in a blockbuster, I go to a serious art film or something, dramatic. In a horror movie, I love to hear people screaming their heads off right behind me, popcorn flying up in the air. That's fun. I'm in some kind of dramatic movie, an adult film, something serious, some Oscar contender. Maybe I want a little bit of a mature crowd that's being a little bit, quiet, chilling out a little bit. But you know what? I love a crowded theater. Anyone else hope they go back? Oh, I used to. I should say that, though. Ever since the pandemic thing, I'd love to be back. My mind wants to be back in a crowded theater with people all around. Can you imagine people used to smoke in movie theaters? I went to a very cool school. Maybe I shouldn't bring that up. We'll just say this. People used to smoke in movie theaters. Cigarettes. You ever been in a movie theater stuffed full of cigarette smoke? People used to do this on an airplane too. You say, how disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting, but it can also be charming if you're in the right mood. You know what I mean? It can be really romantic. Sneak was Chinese food. Rousdow's bringing in Chinese food. That's a smelly thing. If I sneak, I usually never sneak snacks into the theater. The only snacks I would sneak into a theater usually are candy. Sometimes, but usually not. Usually I'll buy whatever. But if I buy a candy, but I usually don't buy anything that has a strong odor. If it's not coming from inside, you're eating pizza and stuff, that has a small odor. But if it's sanctioned from the concession stand, hey, people have to live with this. However, if you're bringing in outside smelly food, it's a different kind of line you're walking. You know what I mean? Luigi's going to be huge. I think Charlie Day is going to knock it out of the park. I didn't even think about a Yoshi pooping out eggs joke. Yeah, I wouldn't want that either. The Minion people might do it. Hopefully they'll do it tastefully. I got to catch up on chat. I think I'm really far behind. The mushroom eating, drug use. No, because the mushrooms are not drugs in the Mario universe, so I don't think they'll need a different kind of warning. Food coloring in the fog machine fuel. Wait a second. Client Devil, are you saying if I put food I mean, it only makes sense, but are you saying that if I put food coloring in the fog juice, it's going to spray out said color of fog? Because you might have just changed my whole freaking reality. I've always thought about coloring fog with lighting. I've never thought about reconfiguring the makeup of the fog juice itself. This is an exciting prospect. I think they give you a warning not to add anything else, but could food coloring damage the internal mechanisms of a fog machine? It might be worth the risk. What's going on with this music? We got to change it again. I'm starting to go insane. There we go. I'm going to turn it down a tiny bit too. Is it loud? Can you even hear it? Can you hear the background music, or is it just in my head? Lots of Yoshis. Everyone wants Yoshis. What is up, Monster MJ? Monster MJ in the party. We're tailgating from Mario. We're all sitting in a parking lot talking about the Mario trailer dropping. Pumped up. It wasn't a reference to adult films whatsoever. Uzi, suicide. It was just a reference to... It used to be legal to smoke in a theater, as far as I know. People bring Ziploc bags full of spaghetti to movies. Well, that'd be an interesting way to eat it. Just slurp it out of the Ziploc bag. It's not a bad idea. I never thought of that. Dizzy death with a spaghetti hack. You fill a Ziploc bag full of spaghetti and sauce. You cut the bottom corner off, and you have just like a tube, like one of those icing tubes. You can eat spaghetti. It's kind of a neat way to eat spaghetti without silverware. I never thought of that. Let's see. No, I actually haven't been to a theater. I was saying, do you know people used to smoke in theaters and planes? I haven't actually been to a theater when they still allowed smoking. I just know. I mean, that was, come on, I'm not 150. I'm like 75, 80. Pushing 80 here. I'm not 150. I'd not like to smoke in a... No, I was talking about my school. I was going to make a reference to my college. There was some smoking going on in the theater there, okay? But Spectron remembers people smoking in theaters. Depending what state you were in, they might have done it not that long ago. Who knows? What's up, Dino Pulse? We are not, the Allies are going to be reacting live to the Direct at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. And I'm going to get off here soon, so don't worry. You'll be able to get yourself prepared for that. Smoking in restaurants. I have a memory of that, Snake. When I was a little kid, I remember my pop would take us to this Chinese restaurant, and they would always ask smoking or non-smoking. And I remember we had to always go through this vast smoking section, it was clouds of smoke, to get to the non-smoking section. And I always remembered it because they had this giant, really awesome saltwater fish tank in the smoking section that we'd all have to walk past, kind of gaze at all the fish. And for that reason, I always wished my pop would seat us in the smoking section, because I said, I want to look at these fish, Pops. But he wouldn't do it. Everyone's excited about this music. Yeah, it's dope to be in a crowd. I haven't been back to a crowded theater yet because I'm still too nervous. More than getting COVID, the quarantine requirements are such an unbelievable inconvenience no one wants to deal with. So I'm still being very cautious with being in big crowds of strangers, unfortunately. Okay, Martin Davy, do not put food coloring in fog juice. It is harmful to breathe. More harmful than the fog itself? I assume yes, but thank you for that tip. Maybe I'll be careful with this. It's going to stick to the walls, Rebirth is saying. Ooh, I don't trust that. A lot of negative reaction to the food coloring idea. Good thing to test in the next Hangout. Well, maybe. I don't want to dye the walls in here, though, with fog juice. That would be bad. Yeah, maybe. And a lot of people suggesting it might not be a good idea. We can hear the music. Good. The trailer's dropping at about 45 minutes, okay? And the Allies will be here reacting live to it. Let me see. Catching up on comments. How do you heat it? There's a heating element in the, Are you talking about the fog? Who knows? Yeah, there's some weird sound effects playing there for a second. The trailer, I don't know. They're not going to give us too much preamble, will they? How long will this whole thing be? What could they possibly do? Who knows? I mean, we know what we know. We know the casting. I don't know what more. It might be a very quick thing. Laubro, glad you're here. Hopefully today will be a good day. Or tomorrow, depending what time it is, or tonight. Hopefully it'll be a nice night. So Hundo is saying they went to see Infinity War, which is not an old movie. And they were smoking in the theater. Saw Barbarian in a crowded theater and it was very fun. Oh, okay, for a second I thought you were going to say smoking. Nothing better than a horror movie in a crowded theater. One of my favorite things I used to do, and I haven't done it in years, but back in the day I used to buy this bootleg movies, believe it or not. Okay, we're past the statute of limitations on this thing. So there was a guy outside of Target that sold these bootleg movies. And these were movies that I was going to buy on, whatever, Blu-ray or DVD at the time. I guess it was probably DVD. These were ones I was going to purchase anyway, but this was still the days when it took 6 months or 8 months for a movie to be released after its theatrical run. So there was a great period of time. In that time, before I could legally buy a licensed product, I would also sometimes support this fellow who had a duffel bag full of bootleg movies outside of Target. And my favorite thing was to buy horror movies, because the way they bootleg these movies is someone would somehow get access to the theaters and record it in the theater, whether surreptitiously or not. But you often had mystery style, science theater style, little silhouettes at the bottom of the screen of actual people's heads and stuff that got in the shot if it wasn't a really high quality bootleg. And horror movies were the funnest to watch, because sometimes these things were recorded with a real lively crowd, and the crap you'd hear people scream and the reactions you'd see and everything, it was like a whole extra layer to the movie that made it really fun. I used to love, and I'm talking, low quality horror movies, nothing like highbrow. So it was very cool. Well, we may have to wrap this thing up. Excitement. Everyone's excited. I'm thinking about buying this Big Gulp. Did they ever get back to me? Who was that's selling this? Someone in chat was thinking of selling this. I said I'm not paying 20. This is not their Big Gulp. They have one that's just like this. I just wanted to look up the price. We did get distracted, didn't we? Oh, no. I didn't even... My other tabs don't even have IMDb open anymore. Well, that's okay. We're going to wrap this up anyway. Let me just go real quick, cycle through some of these comments to make sure I'm not missing anything very important. LimeWire bootlegs. Yeah, I would buy physical bootlegs. Can you imagine? Physical bootlegs. It was very fun. I haven't done it for years, though. Rockets in flight. We're going to get in contact with each other. You got to email me. Email me at Easy Allies. Tell me how much you want to move this thing for. I'm always in the market for a lenticular cup like this. You got to give me a real good deal, though, because I told you I'm not going to be paying. I mean, this thing's appreciated over 300%. What did you pay for it? Do you remember? I'm assuming about $4.95. $3.95, something like that. This thing's we're going for $20 now. 64 ounces. Wow. We ready to shut this thing down yet? Okay, allies are arriving. Huh? I don't have to be, whatever. Okay, are you when are you going? Should I cut this down? I was a little late. Damiani has come well prepared. I'm not going to spoil anything, but Damiani is well prepared. Allies are rolling into the studio as we speak. When should I wrap this up? You tell me. How long? Give me an exact time.
It's in like 40-something minutes.
You going to pre-show, though? How long you want to pre-show? You want to jump on now? I'm going to cut the stream. I'm over right now.
Oh, we should keep on for me.
That's what I'm saying. I could just go. I could
I'll tell you
like 2 minutes. When are they coming on? Everyone wants to know when you're coming on.
Oh, well, you know,
Yeah. So what should I tell them?
I don't
What
know
time?
when we're coming on.
We don't know.
Damiani's watching Scooby-Doo, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Damiani's watching Scooby-Doo. Everyone's rolling in right now. Things are getting very exciting around here. Let me tell you what.
Radio, that's 1940.
What? My setup? Yeah. Trying to take full advantage of the studio. All right, Brad's going to tell me he's going to give me the hook here in a second because I'm really distracting from the proceedings. But all the allies are rolling into the studio. Damiani's well prepared. He already teased me with something he brought, which is very cool. This is the tailgate party. So this is the tailgate party that's leading into the little pre-show right before the Nintendo Direct. live reaction. So this is very exciting. I've already seen the King, Bradley Ellis, show up. Okay, the other King, Damiani's in the house. So several of the allies have already reared their heads. This is going to be fun reaction. Everyone's excited. I want to hear DK's Seth Rogen voice. This is the thing, Magical Bark, that I need to be sold on. Nothing else about this movie I need to be sold on. I believe in Chris Pratt's voice. I believe in Illumination's pedigree. I believe in Nintendo's patient, calculating approach. I believe in the ample girth of Mario's features. I believe in everything, but the one thing that this trailer needs to make me believe in is Donkey Kong, the inclusion of Donkey Kong and Diddy or whoever the heck is in there. I mean, I love these characters. They should absolutely have their own movie. But I'm worried why they're bringing in the cinematic universe to this so early. You know, it makes me a little nervous. It's the only thing that gives me a little bit of nervousness about this. Lack of girth, Snake says, look, if you're a girth doubter, I don't know that this trailer is going to sell you unless you have a 75 or 85 inch screen. You're going to have to see this on the big screen. It's one of those things you got to appreciate in the movie theater. There are many things, Avatar, you heard Cameron saying it. See this thing on an IMAX, unless it's not available in 2D, then see it in a 4DX. Same with Mario. You want to be blown away by this thing, then see it on the big screen. 65-inch, Snake, so that's what I'm telling you. Okay, you may not be impressed by what you see. I don't want to bring things down, but everyone's looking forward to the girth. Yep, absolutely, Immortal. Absolutely. Will a minion make a cameo? I don't think there will be any more cameos in this trailer. I don't think so. I don't think there will be any cameos of anyone else other than, characters that are in the film. But I think we're just going to see, the main cast, a bunch of the main enemies, hopefully. We're going to hear some dialogue. Enough to put people's minds, to put the discussion at rest a little bit. I don't think we'll see any minion nods at all, although they like to do that stuff. Illumination does like to do that stuff. They love to put minions in other things. There's little minion nods in Life of Pets and stuff. It's possible minions will show up in the Illumination logo. Oh, absolutely. A minion could be there. I just don't think it'll be in any film. I don't even know if they'll actually put it in the film itself. I would kind of be doubtful of that. I think they're going to tread a little lightly with that kind of stuff on this. They really want to get everything right. I hope Wario Luigi will show up at some point. That kind of thing I don't think we're going to see in this trailer. I think something like that we would see in the Thanksgiving trailer that I'm predicting. The 2-minute plus, 2.5-minute trailer, the big boy. That one might start to show you some stuff like Waluigi and Wario, because that's the one that's going to really push it over the top. This one is going to put everyone's mind at rest to be like, yes, this is solid. Things are on the path. I'm going to see this movie. Everything is good. And then the Thanksgiving trailer is going to be the one that makes everyone go bonkers and start just tearing through the streets trying to, get ticket to this thing. Minions fight a rabbit. Thanksgiving, that's a great time to put a trailer out, I think, Dragon Lord. I think there's no better time to put out a movie trailer other than the week of Thanksgiving. You got people on vacation, you got families coming together, you've got people seeing movies, you've got excitement about the holiday season. It's right before, I think, the release, right? The release is in December, isn't it? What the heck's the release date of Mario? Do I know? What the heck is the release? April 7th. Wait a second. April 7th. I thought this thing was coming out for Christmas. Dang it. Yeah, I still think they'll have a Thanksgiving trailer. If they don't have a Thanksgiving, if it's not till spring, yeah, that's right. I think they're doing it coinciding with spring 2023 to coincide with the opening of Los Angeles Super Mario World. I don't know if that's a fact, but that's right. It is coming out in spring. I think December would have been a better move, but I can see that they want to pair it up with their opening in their theme park. That is a nice thing. I still think we could see a Thanksgiving week trailer, though, for the reasons I was listing. It's a good time to really get people's eyeballs on things. But, however, now being reminded that the thing isn't coming out for Christmas. For some reason, I thought it was a Christmas movie for a second. Since it is coming out April, I wouldn't be surprised if this blowout trailer I'm talking about actually doesn't come out till Christmas break or even Super Bowl. This may be a Super Bowl thing, but I think they'll have one before then. Before the end of the year, we'll get like a 2.5 minute. And then during Super Bowl, we'll probably get another substantial trailer. They usually like to do a little bit of a unique trailer for Super Bowl. Everyone, all the big AAA features love to do that. Yeah, you're right. Nobody does dare Cameron and Avatar Way of the Water. Way of the Water is going to be so freaking good. Everyone is coming around on it now. Everyone's seeing this is what Cameron does. He's an absolute master. He takes forever to do something. Every time people doubt him for years and years. Every time his productions go years and years over budget, over length, over everything. Every time every newspaper says it's going to be a failure. What the heck? You're supposed to come out with 5 sequels by now. Every time these things happen, Cameron delivers big time, and the whole world pours in to appreciate it. This is going to happen again with Way of Water. You've seen the footage. Hopefully you've seen the 3D footage. It'll be a little bit of a revival for 3D. I gotta say, I'm now believing it will be. Why? Because all this attention and tech and years of delays that have gone into it, a large portion of that, I think, is regarding the production of this 3D photography, this revolutionary 3D photography that he's done for some of this movie. I mean, a lot of this stuff obviously is conversion stuff, but still the conversion stuff has come a long way. I think people are going to be mesmerized. It was such a simple scene of Way of the Water that they showed at the end of the Avatar re-release, but it was underwater, a lot of it, and if you saw it in 3D, you saw what a difference that makes. If you saw the trailer in 3D, I saw it on opening night when they released that Way of the Water trailer. I saw it in both 3D, 2D, the 3D one, the shots in the water. Holy smokes, it changed everything, okay? Never bet against Cameron. Everybody adores Styx, still wishes they could be optimistic. I feel like it's less and less optimism, though, and more realism. The more of the stuff we see, I'm starting to believe in it. Watched in the cinema. It almost does. It certainly for sure benefits from 3D. It does. And this new one will be a little bit of a revival. I don't know if Mario movie is being released in 3D. I think it might not be. A lot of these big animated movies actually don't do conversions, so it may not be, which would be too bad because that'd be a fun ride. But anywho, all right, so we're going to wrap up here. Look, everyone, we're going to be back very soon. Oh, that's a good sign. We just died. Do you hear that? So look, we're going to be back right here very shortly. Preparing for this Nintendo Direct, getting our eyeballs and our ears ready to get blasted to Kingdom Come with this beautiful trailer we're about to see. I'm excited. Everyone's excited. Thanks for joining up with the tailgate party today. Get inside now for the main show, okay? Use the restroom, get your snacks, butter your popcorn, Screaming Argonaut, Latias, everyone. Thank you for being here, and we will see you very soon. Adios. Bye.